promised to secure me. He promised, and I like this, to sustain me. For God knows how to prop us up on every leaning side. He knows how to literally allow us to rest in the bosom of the Father in eternity. And that's the kind of God that we serve. God has promised to give us grace along life's journey. And the trial endured by the Apostle Paul, God did not remove the burden from the apostle, but he did tell him, my grace is sufficient to keep you, for your strength is made perfect in weakness. And that implies to the child of God that you are your strongest in your weakest hour. You may not feel like you are your strongest in your weakest hour, for in your weakest hour, that's when you don't mind praying to God. That's when you don't mind calling on his name. That's when you're not worried about who's sitting next to you or what you got on or how your hair's fixed up, because you want to get in touch with God. And the old saints knew how to get in touch with God. Are you praying here? Mama used to tell us they were so poor that they didn't have enough money to buy gloves in the wintertime. She said that what grandmama would do, they would make a hot potato. And they bounce that hot potato on their way to school to keep their hands warm because they couldn't buy any gloves. And when they got to school, they would eat the potato as their breakfast. Don't have any prayers in here. I wish I had some help in here. The old saints knew how to make do with what God blessed them because they knew how to get in touch with God. I want to tell you, ain't no harm to keep your mind on Jesus. The old saints used to say, I'm walking and talking with my mind. I might be in the right church here. Stay on Jesus. Let you tell us about walking to church now. We'll look at you like something is wrong with you. Let you tell us about using a bus pass to get here. You'll look like something is wrong with you. But the old saint didn't mind walking to church. And they just used to sing that old hymn, I'm walking and talking with my mind stayed on Jesus. When they got to church, when they entered the course with praise, they would holler out, ain't no harm. Wish I had some prayers in here to keep your mind stayed on Jesus. They knew how to get in touch with God. He will never change in his power. He'll never change in his promises, but he'll never change in his personality. This verse simply reaffirms the truth of our text, and Jesus Christ will never change. Therefore, in the attributes which he possesses in the beginning, he still possesses even today. And he will possess them into eternity and our future. That which he was, he is, and he is ever will be, and therefore his personality will never change. He'll never change in his love. He'll never change in his light. He'll never change in his life. He'll never change as our Lord because he's a God that will never change. Y'all still here? And I'm ready to get out of here, but if you haven't said amen, you missed the message. But I stopped by to tell you, he's a God that never changes. Are y'all still here? He's a God that knows best. Everything around us is changing every day. Our world is changing. Seasons are changing. The clothes we wear are changing. The cars we drive are changing. The people we meet are changing. The relationships we have are changing. If you're married, your name should have changed. I wish I had some help in here. Businesses are changing. Powers are shifting and changing. Kings are changing. Presidents are changing. Your intellect is changing. Your growth is changing. But I'm glad that we serve a God that never changes. I feel something pushing me right through here. We serve a God that's still in charge. He never changes in his love. He never changes in his life. He never changes in his compassion. He never changes in his mercy. He never changes in his power. Have I got a witness in here? He never changes in his promises. Are y'all still here? He never changes in his personalities. Have I got a praying church here? And aren't you glad that we serve a God like that? Can you shout yes? Because man will put you up today and tear you down tomorrow. Can you shout yes? But I'm so glad tonight that God never changes. For he's the same yesterday, and he's the same today, and he's the same forevermore. Can you shout yes? Can you shout yes? But have you ever changed a situation in your life? Can you shout yes? He saved my soul from a burning hell. And he's a God that's been true to his word. Can you shout yes? He never changes. And I've got to celebrate tonight, because when I think of what the Lord has done, when I think where he brought me from, when I think what he's done in my life, my hands go up, my feet start moving, and my mouth starts flapping, and I've got to tell the Lord, Lord, thank you, sir. Can you shout yes? You made a way out of no way. Can you shout yes? You open blinded eyes because you got that kind of power. Can you shout yes? But tell your neighbor, as a neighbor, we serve a God that never changes. Can you shout yes? I remember when my son was home and he was in the upstairs room and he was watching a program, and the program, he said, Daddy, will you come in the room? So I came in the room, and when I got there, the program he was watching, it was called Long Ranger. Can you shout yes? And he thought it was a new program, but I didn't bust his bubble. I told him, all right, what is this all about? He said, it's called Long Ranger, and he has a sidekick, and his sidekick is called Tonto. Can you shout yes? Can you shout yes? And he said, Dad, just watch a moment. I said, I took a seat on the bed, and I began to watch the program, and they said Long Range, and then I saw the bandit. He captured the damsel. They tied her up and laid her on the railroad track, and the train was coming. Can you shout yes? And I said, what in the world are they doing? The girl is on the track, and the train is coming. Long Ranger riding on his horse, Tonto riding on his horse. Can you shout yes? And then all of a sudden the television went off and said, we pause for station identification, and now I'm caught up in this thing. I said, what the world are they doing? The girl is on the track and the train is coming. And then it dawned on me, the same man that wrote the introduction wrote the conclusion. Can you shout yes? The same man that wrote Genesis wrote Revelation. Can you shout yes? The same man that wrote about a virgin birth wrote about an empty tomb. Can you shout yes? And don't you know that he's a God that will never never change. Can you shout yes? He's a God that holds us up. Can you shout yes? He's a God that can pan you up. Can you shout yes? He is a God that can rock you to sleep in the cradle of his arms. Can you shout yes? Can you shout yes? Goodbye, Bethel. I'll see you tomorrow. But before I go, he died. Oh, yes. He died. But I wish I had some help in here. It was he got up with all power, all power, all power, all power, all power. Yes, 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 yes. Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? Yes, 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 yes. Hallelujah. 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 That's the highest form of praise. Go ahead and shout. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.